So in this video, I want to share with you guys how I built 8 income sources by the time I was 26 years old that add up to over $40,000 a month. Now this isn't typical for someone to be able to build this many income streams by their mid-20s, and so that's why I made this video so that I can show you how I did it and how you can as well. So where this all started was when I was young, my dad had a huge accident where his legs ended up getting crushed. And this was a really weird and emotional experience for me because my dad did everything right. He got an engineering degree, he got a really good job, and he worked hard. But when he had his accident, he couldn't work anymore and everything got flipped upside down. After this experience, we lived in several different trailer parks, Section 8 housing, and when I was around 14 years old, we ended up homeless. Now this experience hit me like a ton of bricks because my dad relied on one income, and when that income source went away, we had nothing else to fall back on. So after this experience where I pretty much hit rock bottom, I started looking into different ways that I can make money. I didn't have any money to invest, so I couldn't throw money into the stock market or buy real estate. So I had to find different ways that I could make money, not just from getting a job, but I also learned skills and picked up side hustles. And a lot of the time I would do work up front and then keep on making money from whatever I did for a long period of time. And this is basically how I transitioned from working a single job to diversifying and making money in many different ways. So that if I ever got fired or got in an accident or anything like that, I would be okay. And at this point in my life, I can definitely say that I have achieved a pretty high level of financial independence. I'm not saying that I could retire, but I don't have to rely on my job because of the fact that I make far more from my investments and my side hustles. And I'm making this video so that I can help you to get into the same situation, but there's one big thing that I want to say before I get into this. There are a ton of courses on YouTube that tell you
should immediately quit your 9-to-5 job because jobs in colleges are a scam.
I'm a pioneer. I'm an explorer.
And buy my $1,997 course and
blah, 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 blah. Don't listen to any of them. The most common path to financial freedom by far is to first get some sort of steady income, whether that be some type of skill that you have or a 9-to-5 job. Once you have that steady income, you can use your extra money to start investing and doing side hustles or maybe even start a business. One thing they will never tell you is almost all businesses are gonna have some costs up front. You know, you might be able to keep them pretty low, but you know, to start a YouTube channel, for instance, you have to have a camera and a computer. And I've talked to lots of people who have started successful businesses, including myself with this YouTube channel, and the most common way that people start these businesses is they have a normal job or some type of normal skill that they're able to reliably get income for, and then they start the business on the side. Once your side hustle or your business gets to a certain level, maybe you're making $1,000 a month or something along those lines, then you can quit your job and go full time. The way I think about this is your 9-to-5 job is almost like a ship that's keeping you afloat. If you jump ship right away, you'll likely drown, so a much better strategy is to start building another ship on the side while you're still on that boat. This will take a while, but once you have that second boat built, it'll be safe to leave your original ship and go off on your own. So start looking into these tips that I'm giving you in your time off of work, and someday maybe you'll be able to build a ship and go off on your own as well. So my first stream of income that I'm going to talk about is my job, my career. I am a professional drug dealer.
Wow, really?
Well, sort of.
Call the cops.
I'm a pharmacist and I'm not technically allowed to tell you exactly how much I make. However, if you look up the statistics on BLS.com, you're gonna see that pharmacists make on average about $128,000 a year. We'll go a little bit under that to make it easy to calculate, and we'll say they make $120,000 a year, so that would be about $10,000 per month. So after my dad's accident, his health in general kind of just deteriorated and he ended up having a heart attack a few years later. And that got me interested in the medical field, and I realized after doing some research that the medications he was taking were literally the only thing that were keeping him alive. And this started a passion in me about pharmacy and pharmacology, and it was my dream to be a pharmacist ever since I was a teenager. And I was able to accomplish that goal at 24 years old. Now, pharmacology is one of my passions. I've always been extremely interested in how drugs interact with the body and how the body interacts with drugs, and all of the miracles of modern medicine in general has always been fascinating to me. But I've also always been passionate about personal finance and entrepreneurship. Ever since I was young, I've been doing little side hustles and starting little mini businesses, and I've always loved it. And pharmacy has been an amazing career and it pays really well, but I also have a lot of free time on the side that I can use to pursue my other passions. And in that free time, I've been able to make a lot of extra money, and now it's actually gotten to the point where I'm making more money with my side hustles and my investments than I am with my normal job. It's not easy though. I work really hard on this channel, for instance, and so if you appreciate that, make sure to gently tap the like button. button. Do not smash it, okay? We gently tap the like button on this channel. Very important. So my second source of income is going to be YouTube AdSense revenue. So when you have around 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, you can apply to the YouTube Partner Program and get monetization. And that's basically where YouTube gets to put ads on your videos. Now YouTube does get about 50% of the money made from these ads, and then what's left afterwards is what the creators get. And I think this is awesome because you can basically get paid to talk about things that you're passionate about already. And in my case, I'm passionate about personal finance, and I kind of just wanted to make the channel that I wish existed when I was younger and I first started getting into this stuff. So at the time of filming this, I don't have all the numbers for February, so just to kind of average it out, we're gonna go ahead and go over 2 months, December of 2020 and January of 2021. So in December of 2020, I made about $11,820.39. And at the beginning of the year, AdSense does tend to go down a little bit. So in January of 2021, I made around $9,766.24. Now it did take me a long time to build this up, and for a long time on this channel I was actually losing money, and then for a long time I was working for free. But to be honest, there aren't that many startup costs to starting a YouTube channel. You could technically just start one with your phone because you could upload directly from your phone, but most people are going to, you know, maybe start it with a phone and then upload that onto their computer and use editing software to cut things together. Me personally, I actually didn't even use a phone. My first ever video that I uploaded to YouTube was just a screen recording. And I actually didn't even own a computer at the time. It was a screen recording that I took at the library. This was like way back in the day, and the first video I ever uploaded was a video of me playing RuneScape. But anyways, my number 3 source of income on this list is going to be staking cryptocurrency. And staking is basically where you take a wooden stake and you thrust it into the heart of a vampire in order to kill it. Just kidding. This is another amazing way that I've been making money, and it's basically where you stake cryptocurrency that you already have on a website like BlockFi.com. So cryptocurrency is basically a virtual currency that doesn't have any central bank or authority that controls it. It's a way of transferring value without having to go through some kind of middleman like the government or a bank. And this allows people to freely exchange goods and services without having to worry about counterfeit bills or the government printing money so fast that it becomes worthless, like has happened time and time again throughout history. Now, staking is very similar to a high interest savings account where you earn money just by simply keeping your cash in the bank. Except instead of earning around 0.3% interest, you're earning more like 6 to 8% interest per year. And on top of that, the value of the cryptocurrency itself will also likely go up. And this also incentivizes people to hold their cryptocurrency instead of constantly buying and selling it, which makes the market less volatile. Now, I do want to say here that staking and cryptocurrency in general is very risky. It's
entirely possible
that all cryptocurrencies could go down to a value of $0 at some point. So only invest in cryptocurrency if you've really done your research and you're confident in your skills. But long story short, I'm making about $300 a month just from staking cryptocurrency. Now there's a ton of different websites that you can stake your cryptocurrency on, but the one I mostly use is BlockFi.com because I trust them the most. And I will link them down in the description below if you're interested, because they have a free promo where you can get up to $250 in free cryptocurrency. Now in December, I made around $290.70, and in January, I made around $308.30. Now $300 a month probably doesn't seem like very much, but because of the fact that it's extremely passive, I really love this type of income because I don't have to do anything. Now, number 4 on the list is going to be affiliate marketing. And this is basically where you get a small commission for any sale that you refer to a company. So all you have to do is drop a link, and if someone clicks on that link and buys the product, you get paid. It's that simple.
It's crazy.
So let's say that there's a book that I really like and I talk about it in one of my videos. I could just make an Amazon link down in the description below, and when people click on that link, and if someone ends up buying the book, I'll probably end up making like, I don't know, 30 cents. Now this probably doesn't seem like very much money, but to me, it's really cool that if there's a product that I already use and I really believe in, I can recommend it, get other people to use it and get that same value out of it, and I can get paid a small commission for that. And And this is basically a win-win situation for everyone involved, because the person who buys the product is going to be getting a really good product, and also there's usually some type of free promo attached to it. The company ends up getting extra sales, and then the person who referred the product gets a small commission as well. And whenever I'm thinking of trying out a product or buying it, I'll go to some of my favorite YouTubers accounts and look in their links to see if they have an affiliate link for it, or I'll text one of my friends to see if they have some sort of referral code. Now, this is one of the most common ways of making money online. It's especially popular when you're talking about like passive income, but to be honest with you, it's very difficult to make money from affiliate marketing unless you already have a following. Once you build up a following, it's very easy to make money from it, but before you do that, most people resort to like spamming their links across the internet, and even that doesn't work very well. But overall, in December 2020, I made about $316.94, and in January, I made around $405.07 from affiliate marketing. Now, I haven't looked at the numbers for February, but they're much better. I think I actually hit over $1,000 for February. I know YouTubers that are making way more than this. I almost never mention links down in the description, and for the longest time, I didn't put any links. I don't think I put a single link in my description until I hit 100,000 subscribers, and then from 100,000 to now, I only had one link, and then very recently, I started putting more links for companies that I just really like. So I honestly left a ton of money on the table because it's literally just passive income. Like, if this is something you're interested in, just click my link, right? You don't have to. You can always just type it into Google, but if you want to help me out a little bit, you can always click my link and then sign up for it as well. So number 5 on the list is going to be my side hustles, and the main bulk of this income is going to come from flipping items. This is one of my favorite side hustles ever. I've been doing this forever, and it's basically where you just find some item that you're familiar with, you buy it at a low price, and you sell it at a high price. Let's say you buy a mattress for $100 and you end up selling it for $200, you pocket the $100 difference.
If you find a mattress at a better price, I'll kick a puppy and punch a kitten just for you.
Now, I've been flipping items since I was a teenager. It's a fantastic side hustle, and literally anybody can do it. Now, it's especially good if you're familiar with whatever items that you're flipping. So let's say you're really into technology and you have a good idea what things are worth on the open market. You could start flipping tech products. Now, I used to do this a lot more than I do now. I'm pretty busy lately, with the whole coronavirus thing and, making YouTube videos. And so I don't really have all that much free time to flip stuff. But some of the common items I've had a lot of success with in the past were cars, furniture, technology. I even sold perfume for a short period of time. This is especially good if you live in a college town where sometimes people end up throwing perfectly good furniture, TV, technology, all kinds of things like that away whenever they move back with their parents for the summer. Another thing you can do is collect like copper, for instance, from things that people throw away. I had a friend who did that quite a bit, but that's a subject for a completely different video. And you can buy and sell stuff on websites like OfferUp, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, etc. There was one car that my dad and I bought, for instance, where the person thought the car had a serious issue because it wouldn't start. We bought it for, I think it was $600, and we immediately figured out that the issue wasn't serious at all. It's just literally like the negative wasn't grounded in the car. So we bought the car, and so like 5 minutes later, it was completely fine, and we ended up selling it for over $2,000. Now, I don't know all that much about cars, but my dad did, and he was able to tell immediately that the car had absolutely nothing wrong with it, and we got a killer deal. And that goes back to the whole thing of just buying and selling things that you or someone close to you knows quite a bit about. I really can't recommend this one enough. Anybody can do it just by knowing a little bit more than other people do in the marketplace about whatever you're buying and selling. So with this one, I made around $225 in December and $850 in January. Number 6 on the list is going to be sponsorships. And this is basically where you put a paid sponsorship for a product in one of your videos. It's almost like a little extra 30-second to 1-minute ad that you throw into your video, and the company pays you to talk about their product. Now, I probably receive over a dozen offers for sponsorships via email every single day from all these different random companies. And that's right, I haven't accepted a single sponsorship yet.
This is completely and totally fake.
And the reason for this is because there are certain legal requirements that you have to meet whenever you accept a sponsorship. You actually have to sign a legal contract. So for instance, let's say I sponsored a company that I'm really happy using, and then for whatever reason, maybe a new CEO comes in, they end up scamming people. For certain types of sponsorships, I might have to remain silent and say nothing about it. I might also be obligated to keep my videos up even though I don't support the company anymore. And if I didn't, I'd have to pay back all of the sponsorship money money, and I might even end up getting sued. Now, we've all recently seen the situation with GameStop and how there were certain brokerages that halted the trading of GameStop, and some of them might have done it for legitimate reasons, and maybe some of them did it for not so legitimate reasons. And there's honestly so many different examples of sketchy behavior from companies, especially in the financial space. So any company that I would sponsor would have to be one that I really trust. And the reason for that is because my integrity and how much my audience trusts me is pretty much my brand. I'm pretty much that guy on YouTube that always tells it exactly how I see it. I might not be right about everything, but you know you're getting a clean scoop. And so my brand and reputation is very important to me, and I want to keep things that way. So currently I have made $0 in sponsorships, guys. I have friends here on YouTube that tell me I'm an absolute idiot for turning down some of these sponsorship offers and brand deals, but I'm not gonna do it until I find a company that's a perfect fit and I really trust them. So number 7 on the list, the next one is going to be Patreon. So this is something that I kept on getting requests for, and so I finally made one, and I basically just threw one together. I don't put all that much time or effort into it. And by the way, Patreon is basically just a way for you to support your favorite creators with a small monthly donation. Now, some creators offer a ton of extra, content and stuff on their Patreon that's exclusively only for people who join it. And to be honest with you, up to this point, I really haven't offered all that much. I basically just made the Patreon for people who are too impatient to wait for me to make a particular video about their college degree. So on Patreon, for instance, I have a few different spreadsheets where I rank college degrees. And on top of that, I also have my investment portfolio. In the future, I may end up making more content on there. I'm thinking of maybe doing like updated content on different investments that I'm making as I'm doing them in real time, for instance. That seems to be something that people want when it comes to a Patreon, is more like news style content. And on top of that, I also spend a little bit of time answering DMs on Patreon so I can give people more specific advice. But overall, I think I can make the biggest impact to the most people just by posting videos on YouTube. So that's what I focus on. But Patreon is still pretty awesome. I basically think about it as a way for my fans on YouTube to show me how much they appreciate my content by giving me like, $5 a month, which, is a way for me to buy a coffee or a beer. So in December of 2020, I made about $125 from Patreon and $139 in January. Number 8 on the list is going to be my investments. So my investments include index funds, dividend stocks, individual stocks, and also cryptocurrency. Now, if you haven't noticed, stocks have been doing unbelievably well this year. For instance, Tesla has gone up 10x since the beginning of the year. That's literally a 1,000% increase. So if you were to put $100,000 at the beginning of the year, you would now be a millionaire. And if you look at cryptocurrency, the same thing has happened. So for instance, Bitcoin has also 10x since the beginning of the year. So we're obviously in a huge bull market right now, and so the numbers I'm showing are not normal. I don't expect these gains to last very long. In fact, by the time this video gets posted, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these stocks and cryptocurrencies have crashed already. But with that being said, I have had phenomenal gains this year. It's almost hard to believe. In December of 2020, for instance, my investments went up $25,397.42, and I thought for sure they were going to crash the next month. But in January of 2021, my investments went up again, except this time it was even more, $26,633.58. Unreal. Now again, this is sort of theoretical because if I don't sell, then it's not technically income. But I guess you could say that my net worth went up by that much. But if I did decide to sell right now, then it would become income, and that's why I'm including it on this list. But with that being said, what goes up must come down. In the near future, I know that I'm going to have a negative month. I wouldn't be surprised, for instance, if there's a month in the future where I end up losing $20,000.
And it's gone.
But I probably won't end up selling because my investment plan in general is to invest over the long run, so I don't have to try to guess when the market is going to go up or down. All right, guys, so I got my trusty Texas Instruments calculator that I used during college, and let's add all of this up. So we've got the $11,820. So in December of 2020, after adding everything up, it was $48,175.45. And in January of 2020, after adding everything up, it was almost the same, $48,102.19. Now I can tell you for sure that February isn't going to be that good, and November wasn't that good either. And I can totally see why some people would be a little bit annoyed that I'm including my investments since I didn't actually sell them. So I'll also put up the numbers for how much I made without the investments included. So the total without my investments were $22,778.03 in December and $21,468.61 in January. So again, guys, as I always say, the whole purpose of this video is to inspire you. I'm just a normal guy. I got a job and I did side hustles and I invested on the side. There's nothing special about me. Anybody can do this. It will take time, hard work, consistency, and a little bit of luck. Luck is always going to play a factor, but by far the three most important things are going to be the time, hard work, and consistency. For some people, it might take a few years. For others, it might take 10 or 20 years, but eventually you'll catch a lucky break and you will break through. Check out my other videos right here. I made them just for you. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, comment down below any thoughts, comments, criticisms, etc. And I will see you guys next time.